Hummer tire deadlift ready to kick off here. Jerry Pritchett, first in line. Came second to JF Carone last year in this event. 125-pound bar. Each tire weighs 115 pounds, and then a little extra plate on the end of that bar for added measure. Gets the total up to 900 pounds for Pritchett.
Yeah, Jerry's an absolutely amazing deadlifter. He's one of the few men that's deadlifted over 1,000 pounds on a regular bar, so he's an incredibly strong deadlifter. I'm sure he'll make really light work of this.
Pritchett, good with 900 pounds to start off his campaign at the Hummer Tire Deadlift. Event number 5, the starter, the appetizer here on day 2. Up next.
He just recently as well in Manchester joined that exclusive club of deadlifting over 1,000 pounds as well. So we know Gabe's got some pedigree when it comes to deadlifting too.
From Edinburgh, Texas. His whole family comes from Tamaulipas, Mexico. His father, Mark Pena, biggest fan. And the only competitor here, he said the only Latino who's ever pulled 1,000 pounds off the ground. Love to see Gabriel Pena do it again. 900 pounds on the menu for him right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's only about 11 or 12 guys that have ever done it anyway, so I'm pretty sure he is the only Latino that's done that.
Good stuff for Pena, who struggled in day 1 and looks confident on day 2. What a great start for Pena.
Graham's a very good deadlifter, but he had that problem with his adductor yesterday on the squat. Hopefully it won't affect him on this event.
Yeah, he did struggle, and you could see him grimace a few times. It'd be great if Graham could pull this first weight. 900 pounds for Graham Hicks. Oh, as easy as you like for Graham Hicks.
Really smooth lift there from Graham. I know Ivers has got a really good day today with some of the events coming, but this would probably be his weakest event out of the 4 today. So hopefully he can score some good points here and try and move up the leaderboard a bit.
Right now, for a lot of these athletes, it's about keeping points, accumulating points throughout the day. And Ivars is good. Smuck Stellis, 900 pounds.
Evan's a really great up-and-coming strongman, and he's a very good deadlifter as well. Decided to rest on the squat yesterday because he had some knee trouble, and I think he's banking on pulling something big here.
Does a great job of getting the crowd involved. $900 pounds on the bar for the T-Rex. You know, he looked confident with 900. A little bit of extra time at the top there. Going to see pretty soon. But it's Gabriel Hroom. And one of the reasons why JF Carone is watching this is because it's Hroom and his twin brother, Frederic, that work out in JF Carone's gym. It's really shepherded him for the last 10 years.
I mean, it's fantastic to have someone like JF in your corner with all the experience he has. You know, to have someone like that guiding you on your journey is fantastic.
Gabriel Hroom trying to get the weight.
He's really fighting with this.
Really fighting it hard. And it just not going up for Hroom. And he says no mas. But up on the platform now is Konstantin Janasha, the Georgian bull.
Another huge deadlifter just about to attempt this weight. I'm sure Konstantin's going to make light work of this. If he's in shape, he's definitely one of the guys that could get up around that world record.
Janasha for 900 pounds. Good stuff from the Georgian. I just like any job that you can go to in your socks.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just they're doing that obviously just to make themselves a bit lower to the ground. It makes the range of movement on the deadlift actually slightly shorter. So it definitely makes sense. I know Brian is one of the guys that always wears shoes for this event because he likes to feel into the grip on the floor. But a lot of the guys you'll see him with bare feet.
900 pounds on the bar for Bobby Thompson. No problem.
Very comfortable lift there from Bobby. I would say if he's got one Achilles heel, it would be this event. It was probably his only weak event, and he'll be looking for some big numbers here.
Yeah, he's another guy who's looking forward to the medley, and you're right, even he knows that he may struggle here. But Boudreaux, 900 pounds to get some points here in the 5th event at the Shaw Classic. Little help from the crowd, not going to go up for Boudreaux. A game effort from the big Canadian, but he'll save his strength for the next event. And coming up next, a man you're familiar with, not only because you share the same country, but also have worked out with Adam Bishop. Tell me about this in terms of his wheelhouse. Is deadlift a good event for Adam Bishop?
Adam's a really good deadlifter. Again, he just recently got into that 1,000-pound club on a regular deadlift as well. And yeah, I know he's been practicing quite hard on this event, and I expect to see him do really well. He actually went and bought a setup very similar to this and had it made so he could practice. So I'm sure he's going to be hoping for bigger numbers this year than last year.
Well, practice makes perfect, because that was super clean from Adam Bishop, 900 pounds.
I actually expect Trey to make his lead slightly bigger after this event. It'll all come down to the 2 events after that, whether Trey's going to take the title or not, but Trey's an amazing deadlifter.
Another good lift from Trey Mitchell.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously can't really make any predictions at this moment. Most of these guys are making this look so comfortable that, you know, they've got so much left there. You know, it's just they're trying to get that first lift on the board. Nice little warm up for them and get a feel for the equipment, because it does feel slightly different to a standard deadlift.
Yeah. So JF Caron, who won the event last year and set a world record with 1,202 pounds, going to start with a little bit of weight on the bar at 900. Just an easy warm-up for Caron.
Yeah, I know JF tore his hamstring quite badly at World's Strongest Man this year, but I think he's hoping that the higher bar height of this will help and not put so much strain on that tear that he did. He's recovered, but it's not going to be 100% just yet.
Brian Shaw, whose namesake covers this event. The power couple, Kerry and Brian Shaw, have done an amazing job putting this event together. And Shaw, not only a competitor, but is it extra added pressure to have to organize and run an event and compete at it at the same time?
Yeah, it totally is. I've only run one fairly big international competition, and it puts so much pressure on you. All the build-up, the organising, making sure everything's right. And I know that Brian would be feeling tired from that. So what he's doing here is fantastic. And obviously, you know, I know he wants to do both to sort of really make the competition what it is. And yeah, it's a fantastic effort from Brian to run and compete in his own show, because it is tough.
Got up to 1,040 pounds last year in this event. 900 on the bar for Brian Shaw. Locks it out. All good from the judge.
Let's just hope that didn't take the legs out of him too much, so he can put a big number up on this event. I think Kevin's going to have a better day today as well with the whole competition. He's got a really strong grip. He's really good at the dumbbell. So I think this will be a better day for Kevin.
Strong stuff from Ferris. So we've gone all the way through the first round. Only 2 athletes not able to lift the 900-pound deadlift. Those were Gabriel Hroom, Maxime Boudreaux. And on the bar now, 950. 950 pounds for Jerry Pritchett.
I mean, normally this would be light work for Jerry, but he didn't look that comfortable on that first lift. Hoping that it was just a case that he just needed that to warm up and it will improve after a couple of lifts, but it could be that issue that Jerry's been having. I know he's got a few injuries at the moment. Hopefully it doesn't affect him too much and he can really start lifting some big numbers.
Brings the crowd into it. Jerry Pritchett, 950 pounds on the bar for the Iron Outlaw.
I mean, Jerry's an absolute warrior. He was injured all the way through World's Strongest Man and still finished the competition this year. He will literally fight till the very end. If he can get on his own 2 feet and walk out there, he'll still try and lift.
Pritchett finished second here last year in the Hummer Tire deadlift. You could just tell his body's taking a beating, and he's just not the same as he limps away from the platform. So good on 900 pounds, but unsuccessful at 950. Pena.
Look very confident on the 900-pound lift. I'm sure this one's going to go up nice and easily as well. Just making sure he gets his straps nice and tight so doesn't lose his grip on the bar.
Another good lift from Pena.
Yeah, look, really comfortable there. It's a funny lift, the Hummer Tire deadlift, because it goes in stages. First you get the flex of the bar and the first 2 wheels come off the ground. Then you almost have to fight with it for a couple of seconds and then it comes up nice and quickly. Gabe there, that was a really smooth lift. Once it broke the floor, came up no problem.
Made 900 look pretty easy on the first.
I know Graham on his day is a massive deadlifter, so yeah, I mean, really comfortable.
Yeah, sometimes you can just tell just by the way you look, the athletes look, the expression on their face, and certainly the mechanics for Graham Hicks working out today. 950 going up pretty easy from the big Brit.
I think Graham doesn't really know how high his deadlift is at the moment, just because he doesn't train that way. He doesn't push a lot in training, and he's not been fortunate enough to do a max deadlift in a while. So I'm sure he's another guy that's capable of that 1,000-pound mark.
The big Latvian.
I actually think Avers will be really happy if he can get this lift. I mean, whether he can go any further, I mean, I hope he can, but I know he'll be extremely happy getting this deadlift because this is his Achilles heel if he's got one. It's really unlucky there. He was breaking it off the floor. But like I said, Ivers has got good events moving forwards. All the next 3 events for him are very strong events. It changes again when they go up the weights, and then the 4th tire goes on, so then it changes the lift again.
So Singleton, who won the yoke carry yesterday and just won in the Giants Live in Manchester 2 weeks ago over in the UK, now trying to put 950 up. Looks good, gets the thumbs up from the judges, and he is pumped. And I think he just lives that way. Singleton just seems to always be a little bit pumped.
Yeah, I do wonder. Occasionally see him in a calm moment, but not very often. He's very intense, but I think that's what makes him as good as he is and as special as he is. He's definitely going to be one for the future and a potential World's Strongest Man winner in a few years' time.
Next competitor is Konstantin Janasha. After Gabriel Hroom not able to lift the first 900-pound standard, and now it's going to go to Janasha.
Yeah, Konstantin probably didn't look as smooth on the first lift as I expected him to, but I think it's the first time he's used this bit of equipment before, and it does take a little bit of practice, but I'm sure Konstantin is going to be looking to get this number and obviously score some good points. hopefully now he understands the lift a little bit more with the way the bar moves. He'll get this one nice and easily.
And that one seemingly easier at 950, as you mentioned, just getting that rhythm, knowing the apparatus, and really figuring out how to make it work for him. 950 up for Janasha. This goes to 1,000 pounds. Thompson taking a pass, giving it over to Bish. Adam Bishop, 950 on the bar for the big man from Surrey.
I expect Adam to do this one nice and comfortably as well.
Simple stuff. Just another day at the office for Adam Bishop. 950 pounds on the bar, going up like it's light. Just saw Bobby Thompson pass on 950. Going to wait for 1,000 pounds. Is there an advantage to continuing to step up versus resting yourself for a weight that you're not sure you can do?
I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, with these big numbers, these big weights, you've only really got so many big lifts in you. It's not like when you're starting much lighter, and you know, these really do, as strong as these guys are, doing one lift at 1,000 pounds is going to take almost as much out of them as doing 1,050 pounds is.
And Trey Mitchell looks good with 950 on the bar.
Brian just making sure he doesn't make any mistakes, getting these lifts in. And I'm sure, obviously, you know, like I said yesterday, Brian's so calculated everything he does. He'll probably have already had in his mind what attempts he's going to be doing.
A lot of this capacity crowd are locals, and they came to see their hometown hero, Brian Shaw, 4-time world's strongest man, the designer of the Shaw Classic. And this crowd wants to see that weight go up.
Yeah, I mean, Brian using his status as the 4-time world's strongest man to really try and push the sport forwards for all the guys, not for himself, which is absolutely an amazing thing to do.
Gigantor puts up 950. The crowd loves it.
It's a good lift there from Brian.
Ferris, the big man from Provo, Utah, who had a great day yesterday and has started well here with an easy 900-pound deadlift in the first round, goes for 950.
Again, I know the events after this for Kevin are extremely good, so if he can pick up some good points here, he's really going to push himself up the leaderboard today.
Ferris fights through it. He's got it up. It's a good lift, 950.
That was a great effort. He had to work for that one a little bit, but great effort from Kevin there.
Still, until you get strapped on, and then you got to harness something magical.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to stay calm but focus at the same time. Gabe really looks like he's sort of in the zone and focused, but without screaming and shouting. Once he gets himself on that bar, that's when you'll see the aggression really kick in, and he'll go for this huge lift.
I think as soon as that hair falls down, that's kind of when the switch gets flipped for Gabriel Pena. 1,000 pounds on the bar for the 30-year-old from Edinburgh, Texas.
I mean, to be lifting these sort of numbers after yesterday, the day that they had yesterday where everything was so heavy, to be lifting the sort of numbers they are is incredible.
Oh, he fights through it well. Pena with a thumbs up.
Yeah, he looks like he's happy with that one, and so he should be. Like I said, after yesterday, these guys are seriously fatigued at this point. To still come out and pull 1,000 pounds is amazing.
You see the opposite. We just saw Gabriel Pena looked like he just woke up from a nap before he snatched that 1,000 pounds off the ground. Different approach for Evan Singleton, the adrenaline junkie, who is about to try his luck at 1,000.
I mean, Evan made that last lift look fairly tough. He's going to really need, he was going to really need to be psyched up for that event to get it, but great effort from Evan.
Team, as a rugby player, Terry, you and I both know a little bit about this. How great would it be to have 364 pounds of a 6'5" Konstantin Janasha in the engine room.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way your scrums will be going backwards. You know, I'm sure the props would have loved having him scrummaging behind him.
So the Georgian Bull getting ready for 1,000 pounds.
Massive deadlifter is Konstantin, so let's hope he sort of learned from the first 2 lifts and can get this one. Crowd are really getting behind him as well, which is great to see. Yes.
Oh, Janasha puts it up, 1,000 pounds for the big Georgian.
Great lift there, and I mean, another thing, compliment to the crowd here. They're not just supporting the American guys, they're not just supporting Brian, they're getting behind all of these athletes and pushing the guys on to lift these huge numbers.
Well, and these athletes will tell you too, look, it's a competition, but we want to see all of the competitors push their limits and get their own personal best. They want to beat the best when they're at their best. As Bobby Thompson steps to the bar, 1,000 pounds on it, took a pass at 950. Will it be a calculated gamble that pays off for Thompson?
I'm sure Bobby's confident he can get this lift, otherwise he wouldn't have skipped the last one, but Bobby is an extremely strong deadlifter. No, not quite. Very nearly. I think the strap just slipped a little bit.
So he's got 20 seconds.
You notice some of the guys really take a lot of time making sure they get these straps right. Perhaps Bobby could have just done with an extra couple of seconds to get it really tight.
Oh, good lift for Bobby Thompson.
Even on that lift, you saw the strap just starting to slip very slightly.
And it's interesting too, Terry, because we've seen this before in the last couple events, and even during this deadlift event, competitors, because they're competitors, if they fail a lift, they go back and try again. That's the first time during this competition that we've seen a failure at a lift and then a successful second attempt. And you got to give your hats off to Bobby Thompson.
Yeah, I mean, because that was an equipment issue rather than him not being strong enough. I mean, you could see on the first lift it was moving fine. You could just see his hands starting to open a little bit, which, you know, it's just a case of getting his straps a little bit better on the bar. He knows that that's an equipment issue and not necessarily his lack of strength. So that was why he was able to get the lift on the second attempt.
So Trey Mitchell, Bishop passes on 1,000. Mitchell now with 1,000 pounds on the bar. The big Texan steps forward. Pena still in it after successfully lifting 1,000 pounds. Hicks took a pass on 1,000. Konstantin Janasha put the 1,000 pounds up, as did Bobby Thompson, and Bishop takes a pass for Trey Mitchell, the current leader, 1,000 pounds on the bar, trying to stay on the top.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really, really crucial moment for Trey. This keeps him in the big points because there's quite a few guys that failed lifts now. If he gets this, it keeps him really up in the big points.
Oh, the pride of Lumberton, Texas. 1,000 pounds up like an elevator. Well, on our score sheet, it's JF Carone who is the next competitor, but he took a pass on 950, and it looks like Carone still sitting in the bleachers behind the apparatus.
I think JF might have passed this one as well.
Carone passed on it, Shaw passed on it, and Ferris passed on it. So load the bar with 50 more pounds. We're into round 4 at the Hummer Tire deadlift. Still in this competition, Gabriel Pena, Konstantin Janasha, Bobby Thompson, Adam Bishop, Trey Mitchell, JF Carone, Brian Shaw, and Kevin Ferris. As Gabriel Pena, who's having a much better second day than he did in the beginning of the first, will now try to lift 1,050 pounds on the bar for Gabriel Pena out of Edinburgh, Texas.
This will be a huge lift for Gabe if he can get this. He really had to fight for the 1,000 pounds. But, you know, I would never say that Gabe will not get this. We know he's a great deadlifter.
Yes. Pena. Good lift from Pena.
What a great lift. And from watching that, he seems like he's one of those guys that because the bar flex is slightly higher, he's obviously stronger in that position. He almost made that look easier than the one before.
Hicks nursing an injured adductor that he brought into this competition. And as you know, Terry, there's never any time to really heal up. So the walking wounded. And Graham Hicks is part of that. And he absolutely flies through 1,050 pounds. Hicks looking strong on day 2.
Really made that look easy. It absolutely flew up. What a fantastic lift there from Graham.
If the deadlift is good here, it's emblazoned on his leg. Can he take 1050 off the ground? We're about to see Konstantin Janasha, the big Georgian, going for 1050.
And Shivlikov there just trying to help Konstantin get fired up for this lift. He knows it's going to take a big effort for him to get this.
I don't know who's more excited, Janasha or Shivlikov, standing by watching his fellow Eastern European competitor.
Almost broke the floor with it there, almost. If he can just get it off the floor and get it moving, there's a chance he can get this lift. No, Konstantin's calling
Not
it
today. Well, still a good event for Janasha, who got through the 1,000-pound barrier and fails at 1050.
Maybe have a slight advantage there.
So Bobby Thompson from Fredericksburg, Virginia, the American Nightmare, steps to 1050 on the bar, double pumped for a successful deadlift at 1,000 pounds in his last round, and we'll see if Thompson can put 1050 up.
Bobby just really needs to make sure he gets those straps on properly this time. He just had an issue with his left hand slipping a little bit. If he can get this right, he's got a chance of getting this lift. You can see it just sliding out of his hand. It's just them straps. He needs to get them really tight. He calls it a day there. Better at this event than he was last year. One of the best deadlifters on the planet at the moment, and obviously has also practiced on some equipment that's very similar to this. The other thing we've not really spoken about is this bar, although they're using straps, is thicker than a normal bar. It does add to the grip issue, and it does make it a little bit tougher.
So Adam Bishop, the big Brit from Surrey in the UK. Oh, and a good strategy on the pass from the last round, and a great lift from Bishop at 1050.
Looked really fast there. Once it broke the floor, it just came up nice and quick. So we know Adam's got quite a bit more there. He performed, and he really, coming into the show, a lot of people would have said he's, perhaps not in contention for winning, but he just shows he's really the dark horse, and he's got a lot stronger than last year. He put in a good performance at World's Strongest Man this year, came 4th, I believe. He's now proving that 2 months later down the line, he's even better again.
And perhaps a little smarter.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you learn with every competition that goes. Trey's still a young guy. He's got plenty of experience to gain. He's only going to keep getting better and better.
1050 on the bar for Trey Mitchell.
Yeah, what a great lift from Trey there. Really, really smooth. He had to work for it a little bit, but there's still a bit more there.
At 1050.
I mean, JF's obviously feeling quite good and quite confident. If he's skipping 2 of the lifts, he's now, a good 150 pounds heavier than his last lift, which is, incredible. But he's obviously feeling very, very confident.
He told me this is his 262nd event since he started when he was 23 years old.
I believe that's around the same number as I've done, and obviously JF's still got a few years left in him as well, so incredible amount of competitions.
Says he acts like every competition is his last, and this certainly won't be his last lift. 1050 going up, easy for JF Caron.
Yeah, I mean, he still looks like he's warming up, to be fair. There's plenty more there.
6'8", just a shade over 400 pounds of human in Brian Shaw. Steps up to a lift that would better his performance from last year at the inaugural event here in Colorado. Shaw going for 1050, and the crowd is on the edge of their seats.
this will be huge for Brian if he gets this. Absolutely huge. This is a moment which could win him the competition, or make it very difficult for him to win.
Amazing.
Wow, really had to fight for that. What a fantastic lift. And he is pumped.
He's pumped. He knows it.
Packed a hell of a lot of muscle onto that slightly smaller frame. Really strong guy, and obviously, he's only going to keep getting better and better. And yeah, incredibly strong guy. And Kevin, like I said yesterday, in my opinion, pound for pound, probably in the top couple of strongest men in the world.
1050 on the bar for Kevin Ferris.
Just not quite enough there, but really valiant effort. Kevin did really well there.
Well, he's got 20 seconds to re-rack. We've seen one time throughout this competition.
Well, the crowd are all on their feet here as well.
Ferris is jacked. He's going to try for one more time at 1050.
He's got some fight in him as Kevin. Great effort there, great effort.
An equivalent of a strongman gearhead. It's Steve Foshin, who's worked side by side with Brian Shaw to develop and build some of these apparatus and is in control on the floor of a staff of future strongmen.
Yeah, I mean, these guys work tirelessly all weekend, which is great to see, and they're part of the reason this show can happen.
Gabriel Pena out of Edinburgh, Texas. 1,100 pounds on the bar for Gabe.
Oh, yes. Oh, wow, what a lift.
Amazing lift from Pena.
Absolutely incredible. And he is going crazy over there. It's amazing to see. Amazing.
It's got to be near his personal best, if not.
I was talking to Graham before this event, and I said to him, I feel like this, where his strengths are, he's really strong in the lower back and the glutes. I really expected him to lift some big numbers here. He didn't seem so confident, but I kind of thought where his strengths are, he's going to do well on this event. So it's great to see him doing so good. I mean, he's a huge deadlifter anyway, and I also feel that this suits his strengths as well.
Thumbs up from Chad Coy. Thumbs up from Magnus.
Sticks to his, how he does things, and he's proving that, his methods work.
And he stepped away from that job to become a full-time professional strongman competitor, and 1,100 pounds now for Adam Bishop.
I know Adam will really be wanting to get this lift. He thinks he's one of the biggest deadlifters in the world, which he is, proving it now.
Quick work at 1,100 pounds for Bish. It's Trey Mitchell, current leader, successful at 1050 in the last round, 1,100 pounds on the bar.
I'm sure he would have been watching Brian's last lift and thinking perhaps he's not got the next one. This could get him a few more points ahead of Brian if he's successful at this lift. So he'll really want this lift.
Huge lift for Mitchell to stay in contention and at the top of the leaderboard at the Shaw Classic. Look at Mitchell go.
Yeah, great lift from Trey there.
A new world record, getting some help from Ivar Smakstelis.
The fact that these guys are lifting these sort of numbers after the last event yesterday, doing a heavy squat like they did, is amazing. I mean, I'm just shocked that they're all sort of lifting the sort of numbers. I expected them to be down a little bit today.
Carone, big pull, thumbs up, all good from the judges.
Yeah, JF's looking like he's got a chance of breaking his own world record this year. that looked really smooth and really comfortable.
So Brian Shaw going to step away from the Hummer Tire deadlift after a successful pull of 1050. He's going to keep some in the tank for the next 3 events. And it looked like, because of how he struggled with 1050, it was an amazing effort to put that up. And I think a wise move from Shaw not to attempt 11 and to pass on that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he had 1100 in him, and, you know, he doesn't want to waste any energy going out there trying to lift it, you know, and not getting the lift. So it's better to save the energy, you know, because like I said, Brian, these next 3 events have got his name written all over them. So, you know, he's still got a great shot of winning this title, and yeah, he's got a fantastic 3 events to come.
That hair quake.
I mean, after the effort he put in on the last lift, I'd love to see Gabe get this, because he, you know, he deserves a big lot of points for this event. He's done so well, put in so much effort, and it'd be great to see him really get some big rewards on event 1 of day 2.
What a difference a day makes. Went scoreless in the first 2 events yesterday. Gabriel Pena.
Really giving it everything he had there.
He bows out. What a great competitor. Gabriel Pena, 1,100 pounds, successfully deadlifted by Pena, fails at 1150. So Graham Hicks steps up to 1150.
Let's see if he can keep that bar under control a little bit better this time. He locked it out nice and quickly, but the bar was shaking around, so it delayed Magnus's down call.
Jerry Pritchett getting the crowd behind Graham Hicks. Hicksy going up. Can he lock out? And a little bit too much for Graham Hicks. The crowd gives him the ovation he deserves. He's going to step away, having to be satisfied with 1100. 1150.
He looks fired up. Normally Bish is very quiet and just very focused, but he looks really fired up for this lift. He knows how important this is to him. Like I said, one of the best deadlifters on the planet at the moment, so he's got a good shot of this. Yes, what a great
Bishop,
lift.
1150. Great lift due to his successful 1,100-pound pull when Shaw stopped at 1050. So Mitchell going to try to extend that lead a little bit further by pulling 1150 here. Big man from Lumberton, Texas.
If he gets this lift, he knows he's in the top 3 on this event. And you spoke a bit about it yesterday. If you come top 3 in most events, you know you're going to probably win the show. So this is going to be massive for Trey. He's really fighting with it. He's not giving up at all. Oh, it's so unlucky. He's breaking the floor nicely. He just needs to be able to pull it up his thighs. So close.
What a fight. What a fight from Trey Mitchell. The straps were slipping. He had 1150 sitting on his thighs for about 10 seconds and just could not get the lockout. Great effort from Trey Mitchell.
Much like Bobby did yesterday with the log, he wanted to jump straight to the American record. I think both of these guys are going to want to do the same on this event.
So JF Carone, 1150 on the bar for the world record holder.
And he gets the lift.
Wow.
Amazing. Same thing with JF there. He sort of almost snatched at the bar a little bit. Got his rocking around and bouncing up and down. Magnus just made JF hold it there at the top just for a few seconds, just to make sure that he definitely had the lift.
So 2 competitors left in this field. Adam Bishop, JF Carone, successful at 1150. Crowds on their feet here at the Estes Park Events Center. 1,205 pounds on the bar. Also on their feet, every other competitor in the house right now. 2 athletes left. Adam Bishop and JF Carone, both gonna try a new world record in the Hummer Tire deadlift, 1,205 pounds, just a shade above what JF Carone did here just last year.
This will be something special if either of these guys can get this weight. It's absolutely huge.
Bishop straps in. New world record on the line for Adam Bishop.
Not quite there today. Great
Good effort
though.
from Bishop. He put 1150 up about 10 minutes ago. It's a lot to ask of an athlete to come back and do a world record after probably a shorter interval than you'd do if you were just at the gym.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And obviously, massive improvement for Bish from last year as well. So I know he'll still be happy with that.
And Carone decides instead of besting his own world record, he'll just let 12:02 stay on the table for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, he's electing to save some energy there. He's, you know, if Adam had got it, he might have gone out and had a go to try and match him. But, you know, they're sharing the points anyway, so it's good points for both of them now.
So the only 2 competitors to successfully deadlift 1150 are JF Carone and Adam Bishop. They'll split the points at the top of the first event here on day 2 of the Shaw Classic. First event in the bag from day 2 of the Shaw Classic, the Hummer deadlift. And it was Adam Bishop and JF Carone who will share the first place points. Behind them, Gabriel Pena, Graham Hicks, and Trey Mitchell tied for the 3rd best lifts. And at this point, the current standings overall, Trey Mitchell at 68.5 points. JF Carone jumps into 2nd over Brian Shaw with 64 points. Shaw drops to 3rd, 60.5 points, followed by Bobby Thompson, Konstantin Janasha, Adam Bishop, Kevin Ferris, Evan Singleton, Graham Hicks, Maxime Boudreau, Sadrunas Savickas, Avars Smokstelis, Mikhail Shivlikov, Gabriel Pena, Gabriel Hroom, and Jerry Pritchett rounds out the bottom.